Hello everybody and welcome back into Emily's Upcycled Home, where I take thrifted and salvage pieces and create beautiful home decor items. Today we are going to take these 4 pieces here and transform them into a cottage vibe using the fusion color lichen all-in-one paint, which is this beautiful green tone here. For our first project, I am coming in with a cheese dome and that lichen paint. And if you have not used Fusion's paint, it is a all-in-one product here with its own built-in sealer. It has a very smooth consistency and has a very beautiful coverage. You see this is just one coat here and it's giving me a great coverage already. But I always like to come in with 2 coats of paint. So I'm going to thoroughly cover this piece up. Off camera, I'll go ahead and hit it with a second coat of that same paint. Now after this dries, I am going to come in with some transfers and we are going to make this a cottage vibe cheese dome or decor piece. And we're coming with the new IOD Lover of Flowers transfers. And for me, I think like pinks and greens go together, and I'm going to take this inspiration piece here and fit this project that I'm working on, that if I wanted to decorate with it in that home, it'll fit right in. I am going to come in with this floral, and I don't want to put it in the center of our item because I don't want whatever I decorate inside of this piece to cover up all that detailing. So I'm going to leave some room in the center so that if I put little plates in here, if I put a bird, if I decide to put a bunny, that is not covering all that piece. Now I laid these out earlier, but I know for sure that I want this little wording here in the corner. So I'm just pulling in my transfer stick here, rubbing on that transfer and placing that piece there. Now for the rest of the pieces, I want them to start at the end and layer out on the edges of our wood plate here. And as far as the transfer is concerned and that little rim, I'm going to let it fall however it decides to fall. My lid is going to go there anyway, so I don't need a perfect look here. And if any of your product pulls up, just place your transfer back down and rub that in. I'm using my fingers to varnish this and giving that transfer a nice hold onto our wood plate here. Then for the other side, I'm going to repeat that process, giving this a corner look. Now this was that one rose and I cut into 2 sections to place these around the edges. Now you don't have to use your transfers exactly how they come. You can arrange, layer, use multiple different packs on one project. The options here are endless and the creativity is endless. Use your creativity, come up with your projects, and just jump in, you guys. Don't look for perfection, just look for having fun. So I'm coming in again and just varnishing up those pieces here. Now I don't like that harsh line that it's giving me here, so I come in and I try to sand this piece and kind of distress it so it kind of disappears, but that didn't work. So as I'm thinking of what I'm going to do next, I go ahead and continue my process of distressing this piece, lightly hitting the outside edges of my wood piece here and distressing that and giving this more of a rustic feel. And I am coming in with a 220 piece of sandpaper, and I don't want it heavily distressed. I'm coming in with a very light hand and giving that a slight distressed look. Now as far as the inside here, I go ahead and decide to come in with a little bit more transfers here in this blossom page and just layer up that piece, hiding up that harsh edge that I don't like, coming in with a little bit more of a layered color look, and once again applying my transfer, using my transfer stick to place that rub on that transfer there, and I'm going to repeat the process, adding another layer to the other side of the piece, camouflaging up that hard edge of the rose there. And I'm just going to place this however it is I feel is my preference here. Come back in with that tool and rub on that transfer once again. And if you haven't used transfers, they're very easy to use. Just simply rub, pull up as you go, and varnish that piece in with the backing of your plastic. Now, I'm going to continue on with this piece, and I'm thinking here that I want to add a little bit of age to this. So I am, guess what, you guys, going to come in with my dark wax. So there it is with the lid, and you see how I wanted that edging of the transfer to come outside of our glass dome there. And here I am going to age this piece up using DIY dark wax, of course, hitting up the edges and darkening up the green that's on here, and also darkening up that exposed wood tone from the distressing that we did as well. And like any wax, you're going to rub this on, and you're going to let it set for a little bit and then rub off the excess of wax so you don't get a filmy residue on the top, leaving your piece with a smooth, soft texture and a rustic look. So once this is all complete, I'm just bringing in a simple paper towel and wiping off all that excess. And as far as the backing, I just come in with my same lichen color, hit that backing, and remember this has its own built-in sealer, so all I have to do is let this dry. Jumping into project number 2, a brass vase. Now I got some goodies from my good friend Andrea over at the Cutest Little Things, and these are one of the pieces. There she is right there. I'm going to come in with the same lichen color and give this a cottage vibe. I was on bed rest, so I didn't get an opportunity to open up the package and show off all the pieces, so I wanted to make sure I gave her a shout out and say thank you. So thank you, Andrea. And once again, continuing on with this paint, and off camera, I am going to do a second coat. I'm not worried about the dents and imperfections. I'll work around that piece. But as far as this piece is concerned, my inspo pick is this piece. Now I think I can create this piece to be placed in a home and a decor like that. So I'm coming in with more of this flower transfer. I don't want the wording. I want the floral design on the bottom. So I went ahead and cut out the wording, and I will use that on another project. Everything gets saved. Every scrap gets saved. Now I'm going to work this around my piece, and once I take my backing off, I decide to move that floral design a little higher and work around that tassel that's in the way. Do you see how it's overlapping there? But we're just going to go around that tassel. Once I have my placement of where I want it, I hold it down with my hand as well as the pressure against the table there, holding the other side of the transfer. Working once again that transfer off the backing as I go, pulling up the plastic, making sure the transfer is sticking to our product here. Now you see as I'm working, there's a little spot of a floral that is coming up with the paper backing or the plastic backing. And when that happens to you, all you need to do is place that little piece of transfer that didn't quite stick to your piece back down on your product and retransfer that item where you want it. First find your placement and then go ahead and add that transfer piece back onto your project. Now I'm going to continue on with this piece with some distressing here because I do want some of that gold tone exposed, and I'm going to work with the distressing because I know there is a little few dents in this piece, and I want to give this a distressed look and kind of camouflage those dents and make it look like they need it to be there to give this piece a aged kind of distressed kind of imperfect look here. So once again, coming in with my 220 piece sandpaper and a very light hand, distressing it around that little tassel and braided area there, and distressing the pieces where a lot of those little dents are, and distressing that as well, heavier around the base and exposing once again that cold tone. Now to age this up even further, you guessed it, I'm coming back in with that DIY dark wax. I'm going to layer up this dark wax on top. This will also seal in our transfer, and like always, after you place the dark wax on, and wipe off all the excess so that your piece does not have a filmy residue over the top of it. Now, after this, I think this will look perfect in that home that we pictured before with some flowers. What did you guys think? Did I accomplish the look? Moving on to project number 3, we are going to decorate this rolling pin with another cottage vibe here. Now I'm creating this piece to fit into a kitchen with our inspo pick here, just maybe in a crock with that little pink color as well as that green. That same lichen color is coming in on our handles, and I am just going to place one coat of this green color on each side of each handle. Let that dry somewhat as I work on moving in once again with our Lover of Flowers IOD transfer pack. And as far as the flower that I pick this rose here, and I was thinking about adding the wording, but once I got the rose on, I felt that the rose and the green handles were just perfect enough to give this piece a cottage feel and almost like a romantic cottage feel, I guess. Well, I don't know if you can get that with a rolling pin. I think I accomplished that look here, but you guys let me down in the comments. Is that a thing? You know the process here of putting on this transfer. And like always, I don't want to leave this brown color that's on this wood. I do want to come in and age that up again. So repeating that step of adding in our dark wax, layering on that dark wax, and coming in and wiping off that excess. Just making sure that I hit all of the rolling pin here around the edges, and making sure it's all one kind of rustic brown tone here with an age look. Now, as far as the handle is concerned, they are not fully dry. So as I come in with my paper towel and wipe off the excess of the dark wax, I come in using that paper towel and wiping off some of that wet paint from our handles, giving it a light distressed look, exposing some of that wood tone, and then repeating that process of applying the dark wax to the handles and wiping off the excess. Now, this is a simple upcycle, but I think I accomplished the look to fit perfectly into our Pinterest inspo pick. For our last piece, I am taking this wood holder here with the little drawer that comes out, and we are going to come right back in with that lichen color. And for this piece, I am just simply going to coat one coat onto here. I think that'll give me the coverage that I need to do that. And I am going to just layer up my paint, and if I need to come in with a second coat, I will let you guys know later down the video. But for now, we are coming in with this beautiful shade of green and giving this piece a cottage upcycle. Now I'm thinking this piece can go here in our inspo pick up on that shelf, pulling in that green over there. So that's where I'm gonna think my thoughts in and transporting this piece to that shelf over there. So as I cover up this piece here, I'm going to also come in with some transfers, and we are using that same transfer from IOD with the new line, you guys, that came out this spring, the spring release, and it's levers of flowers. So we're going to go ahead and come in with that blue beautiful floral pad and create with that piece. So I do complete painting the first section and also come in and give this little drawer here the matching coat. And you know, remember I cut up those remnants of from our other projects, so I have all these wordings and sayings left over. So I'm going to pick one of those pieces out that I like the best, that to go onto our little decor piece here. Once again, you guys know the drill of rubbing on that transfer, pulling off that backing, and making sure you're varnishing in that transfer so that you have a great seal to your product. Now I know this says apple blossoms, and I did use an apple blossom for another project on the first one, I believe. So I'm going to come in and just trim this up and come in with the almond blossom here and use that section to cover up that. And if you see the boo-boo here, you guys, some of that lift got left on the pad when the paper fell, which actually kind of worked to my advantage here because it's going to line up on the side and giving me that look that I was looking for, that I couldn't quite figure out how to place it with was the full transfer. So I'm glad it got stuck here, you guys, because I get to move on with a different vision and work on this piece. We just kind of pivot here, you guys. Don't worry, just keep moving. So like with the other piece, I'm going to add a little bit to the top here just to give it some added color and a little bit of decoration for our top piece. Now you can use this with whatever you want. You can use it in your bathroom, hang flowers in it. You can even put little hand washing towels in there if you want it, in your kitchen, and put some spoons or whatever it is you want in there, or in your bedroom like we planned for our Pinterest pic there, and just put in some flowers and layer up the piece here. And to go along with all the other projects, we come in with DIY dark wax and wipe off all the excess. For more DIY videos, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And here are the finished projects. So which project was your favorite? Leave me a comment down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys all on the next one.